for the random files. I just wanted to talk at you for a minute. You know, I was just kind of curious as to everybody's opinion on something. I had some people telling me that they thought it was okay for this to happen. I don't know what you think about this. I don't think it's okay. I think that it's crazy. But apparently Laura Loomer, I don't know if you guys know who that is. She's like Trump's self-appointed attack dog. She's saying all kinds of crazy stuff. She's basically saying that there needs to be something done. She's saying that there needs to be something done about the people who are criticizing Trump as and his administration. So she's basically made it her mission, right? That if you speak out against Trump, if you say something that she doesn't like, or that the administration doesn't like, you can be punished for it. She says that people like Candace Owens and Megyn Kelly and uh, what's his face, the other guy, the Tucker Carlson, all these people that are speaking out that don't agree with Trump, that don't agree with what he's doing right now, that don't agree with the war. In particular, speaking out. She's saying that if you don't agree with the war, that you're un-American basically, and that if you don't agree with it, that there should be something done about you. Folks, do you see where this is going? Like, there's a lot of things I want to do with the random files. All this stuff that we're talking about right now, the geopolitical stuff, eventually it's going to be moved to the real random files on Rumble, and we're going to start using Rumble. But I got to put it here first because I got to be able to live this. And I just got into an argument with someone who was claiming that basically I'm un-American because I don't agree with the war, and that I'm not on the right, that I am some kind of leftist, Muslim extremist or whatever. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I am not I'm not okay with the left. I'm not okay with Islam and the other things that happen. I don't dislike people that are Islamic. I don't have a problem with their religion as a religion. If somebody practices a different religion than me, that's not my problem. My problem is that we're getting into wars for a country that is not mine. First and foremost, let's talk about. Let's go back a little bit. Let's get into the whole what's going on with Ukraine. I don't agree with the situation in Ukraine. Like, why do I need to be flipping the bill for the Ukrainian war? And who is the recipient of the destruction of Ukraine? While all of the Ukrainians are dying and fighting and dying in the war, it looks like it's turning into a second Israel, like a Jewish ethno state. And I'm starting to wonder, like, what is the purpose of this? What is behind all of this? Because if you start to look at what's going on down in the south of Ukraine, it's freaking ridiculous. And now it's like if you say anything, apparently if you're on the right, you have to be 100% on board with whatever this administration decides that they want to do. They want to invade Iran. And now they're going to start putting boots on the ground, or maybe they already have, because that's what they want to do. They want to create uh, a safe haven for Israel. Go ahead, do whatever it is you got to do. Why does that have to involve us? That's my point. I don't understand what this has to do with anything. Like, I don't really. I'm not sold on this. So Laura Loomer is telling us now what we can say and what we can't. Like, we're not supposed to be able to say that there's a pink elephant in the room. Is that what this is? So if I don't agree and I say, look, I'm not on board with the war, then there should be consequences for me for not agreeing with this and for speaking out in public. Do you know what this woman is doing? Do you see what she's doing? She is literally setting the stage for the destruction of the First Amendment. That's what these people are doing. They are setting the stage for our Second Amendment and First Amendment rights to be eradicated. And I know it's not a cool, sexy topic, but you need to hear what I'm telling you. This is what is literally happening. And now I just got into an argument with someone that was telling me that in order for me to be basically prove my loyalty to the right, that I have to be on board with the destruction of another country. And also this whole regime change thing is ridiculous. I just paid $78 to fill up a vehicle, my Dodge Durango. $78. Gas is $3.20 a gallon over here in Texas, which is ridiculous because we have more oil than the Middle East over here, and we're over here paying that much for gas. Do you think this is correct? Like, what? Who the hell? Why would you want this war? Oh, because they have nuclear capability. Because no, they didn't. And no, they don't. And no, they wouldn't. Because they did the same thing with Iraq. Bush got up there with his big goofy ears and he lied and said, oh, they got weapons of mass destruction. And there was no weapons of mass destruction ever. And they destroyed that country. We helped them destroy Lebanon. We knocked off Syria with Assad's regime because Assad dared to tell them no. He didn't want the IMF bank. He didn't want the international banking apparatus that they use for the Rothschilds. This is a problem because now we're being told that we have to support a war that doesn't benefit us, and this does not benefit you in any way. Take it from me when I tell you this. I'm telling you the absolute truth. This is the truth. This war does not benefit you. It doesn't benefit me. It has very little benefit to us at all. The only benefit that we could possibly squeeze out of this for the American people is that maybe one day, they might have been able to arm terrorists to attack us or whatever. And that's stretching it. That's really stretching it. Because, their main focus was, and has always been and will be Israel. And all these people who want to go and fight. And I notice all these people cheerleading for this war, but they're not the ones having to go fight it. And I hope that when you finally wake up that it's not too late and they haven't already dragged your sons out of your house to go and fight and die for these people. And let me tell you something else. It's not going as good as they have lied. They're lying to you. They're selling you a bag of goods. This is not what they claim. They're trying to say that this war is like a good thing, that we are going to, this is like a holy war in their opinion, right? Is what they're saying. That they are doing God's work. But the enemy thinks the same thing. They always do. Everybody thinks that they're doing God's work. They've done a really good job of bamboozling Christians for a long time in this country and telling you that you have to go and fight for a group of people who absolutely despise you as a Christian. They call you an idolater. Did you know that? And not only do they despise you and call you an idolater, but then on top of it, they're telling you have to die for them. If I remember my history, and I'm pretty sure I do, they actually were the ones that were responsible for the death of Christ. And they prop up the people that were, responsible, and they applaud that. And if you watch any of these videos, they will tell Christians that it is their duty to kill them. Because according to them, we are idolaters. These are Israelis. They will literally tell you, they look at you as an idolater, and it is literally their duty to kill you. And for some reason, people can't seem to get it through their heads. They just cannot wrap their minds around it, and they keep on and keep on and keep on fighting and arguing and sending me silly, stupid messages. You're never going to convince me to change my mind about what I know to be right. Right? And this channel here, it's gonna, like I said, we're gonna move it to Rumble. It's just an outlet for me to talk and speak my opinions and stuff like that, and state facts of what I know to be true. There's a lot of weird stuff happening right now that really should be concerning to us. The average American should be really, really super concerned about what's happening right now. This has the potential to go in a lot of different directions, and I'm going to talk about this on the show. Do you realize that Pakistan is a nuclear armed Muslim state? People will go, well, what does that matter? Pakistan's so far away. It's not. It is not, actually. As we speak, Israel is developing very, very strong ties with the nation of India. And you may not know where I'm going with this. You may not understand. Excuse me. I'm outside and there's allergies out here. The point of this is that the reason that they're developing strong ties with India is because they want to create a country that will do their bidding, do their dirty work, and help them when the United States is used up, dried up, and blown away. Because right now we're spending billions of dollars. I think it's like $1.3 billion a day is being added to our deficit. We can't print money out of this. We can't print money and get our... There's nothing we're going to be able to do. We're going to be broke and dead. If this war had any merit at all, I'd be right there cheering it on and saying it's a great thing, let's do it, whatever, if we were fighting somebody. But when they were even hinting at going into Ukraine, I was like, this is horrible. It's a ridiculous thing that they're doing. And Britain actually got away with sending troops in there. Don't tell me they didn't do it, because I know they did. If you pay attention to the Russian news, you'll know. But most people don't do that because they're told, oh, they're all lying. It's all propaganda. Don't pay attention to any other country's news, only to ours. The left and the right news organizations will always steer you in the right direction. No, they won't. They are literal mouthpiece for the Rothschilds and have been for a long time. The elites dominate and control our media. So you got to get news from alternative sources that will maybe, just maybe, give you a little bit of another opinion. And even then, it's sketchy, right? When you're dealing with Israel, because they're not going to tell the truth. The Iron Dome is failing. They're being hit. Did you notice that the gas prices spiked significantly since this war started? Well, guess what happened? Israel hit 12 of Iran's civilian oil manufacturing plants. They're civilians. These are not military targets. And the United States literally was like, WTF, what are you doing? And then what appears to be the first kind of crack in this little alliance and an agreement that said, hey, this was not a good idea. It's going to raise gas prices. It's going to make us look bad. You're attacking civilian targets. This is their calling card. This is what they've always done. This is what they always do. Why is anybody surprised? There's these people that are going like, gee, that wasn't right. No shit, it wasn't right. Nothing they do is correct. Iran is not Iraq. They have learned from watching all of their neighbors being destroyed one by one. They were trying to create a buffer between them and the Israelis, and now that buffer is completely gone. All of the buffers are gone. It's just them and Israel. Who's going to control the Middle East? Well, Iran will never fully control the Middle East because they are always going to have a stronger power. They're looming over them. NATO, United States. They're really not a threat to us. They're not. I don't like them. I don't think that they're a good leadership. I would never go vacation there. I would never, because I don't agree with their system, and I don't want my head getting taken off, because I would not be able to sit there and be told by people in bed sheets how to act, how to do whatever. It's just not my thing. But as long as they're over there and we're over here, what do I give a shit? When Tucker, one of the people that Laura Loomer wants to silence, unbelievable that she even talks like that, who does this bitch think she is? When she starts talking about Tucker, it's crazy because Tucker, he asked Huckabee the hard questions. This guy is an ambassador from the United States. He doesn't technically work for the Israeli government, but if you listen to him talk, he's like, it's like he's the vice prime minister or something. Technically not a position. They have a president and a prime minister because they're goofy and stupid. But that's what they have, like a president and a prime minister. President is like their vice president, right? It's just some guy. I mean, he really is. He's nobody. But it's crazy, like when you listen to him talking to Huckabee, Huckabee's like, well, we have this problem with the Lebanese border. And Tucker said the same thing. I was thinking, like, what problem? How is the Lebanese border, what does it matter to me? I'm from Texas. You know what border matters to me? The Texas-Mexico border. I want that secured. I want that fixed. How about you keep all of the people from Mexico who are illegal? How about you keep them from coming over here? And let's do more worrying about that and less worrying about the effing border with Lebanon. What do I give a shit about their border with Lebanon? And then people are always confused. They're like, why are all these Muslims in our country? Gee, Billy, I don't understand it. There's people with bed sheets everywhere. Why do you think that is? If we would quit blowing them all to hell and blasting their countries and creating refugees, then maybe this wouldn't be happening. Maybe this wouldn't happen. But as long as we continue doing this and going down this destructive road, this is what's going to keep happening. And if you're somebody who thinks you're going to message me or talk to me on Facebook or whatever, and you're going to convince me of your stupid opinion, do you understand why I'm not going to believe you or listen to you? Because you are not informed. That's why. When you come to me with something new, concrete, that's not from the controlled media over here, something that really has some teeth and says, hey, this is absolutely true. This is why this is happening. And you can actually quote scripture correctly and convince me that this was God's commandments and his words, then I'll start listening to you. But until then, and not you, the listener right now, unless you're one of those people, this goes out to those who are just armchair smart people that think that they know, and they're posting shit on Facebook, as is their right, and they're saying all kinds of crazy stuff, saying things, that this, they think that they've got it figured out. Like, Iran bad, Israel good. How about Iran bad, Israel bad? It's black on black. It's bad on bad, dark on dark. There is no light in this. America should not be involved. The best case scenario for me would be if Israel and Iran just went at each other's throats and destroyed each other. That would be like a win-win for us. Instead, we're going to help one side obliterate the other and then give them hegemony over the entire Middle East. What do you think is going to be like in this country once they control everyone's destiny? Do you think that they're going to be kind to us? People that are supposed to kill us because we're idolaters. Do you realize that as bad as it is with the Muslims and as much crap as they pull on Christians, do you realize that there is no edict to actually kill us as idolaters? There is only fight the non-believers who are near to you, blah, blah, blah. And don't start quoting the Quran unless you've read it, because I have. And I'm not a Muslim sympathizer. I'm just telling you that you might be able to survive. Once we are enslaved by this other power, there is no survival. You were a slave 100% because you need to go read the Talmud. Well, you might say, well, why do I want to read a book that says all these horrible things? Because then you'll be informed and understand how they see you and how they look at you. I already don't like the Quran because the Quran basically says that Jesus was just the greatest prophet. He wasn't, he was just that's why he's going to return. God chooses him. He's the great prophet. That's not what's going on. Jesus is the Son of God, right? That's my thing. They don't believe that. So, and they also don't believe he died on the cross. They believe that he was very holy, and actually, it's kind of like, well, it's like he was too holy, so God didn't let him down the cross. He put Judas there instead. It's just some crazy whatever, I don't agree with that. So if I'm as fervent as I am against that, imagine how fervent I would be against people who are literally birthright stealers, who are literally saying in their book, their most treasured and read book is the Talmud. 90% of them read from this, and it says, and I'll do a show and I'll bring the passages up. I'm not in the studio right now, so I can't do that. But it says that he is boiling in feces, his mother is there with him, Mother Mary, and that she was a whore who bred with a Roman soldier, and Jesus is the bastard son of a Roman soldier. That's what they believe. That's what they say. They also say that it's okay to have intercourse with a girl after she's 3 years old, and a boy. This is what they say. Everybody's quick to jump on the low-hanging fruit, Islam. Islam's easy to point out. You can point out Islam and go, yeah, okay, there's a problem. Look at it. Take a look. Pretty damn obvious. They make it very obvious. But for some reason, it's almost impossible for people to see the fox in the hen house with these other ones. I don't get, how is it so hard? Every show that's got some nasty, degenerate shit on there has got their names all over it. You think Harvey Weinstein was the only one? Give me a break. And then they want to tell us about, oh, you can do all these things to children. Look at what Epstein, was Epstein full of Muslims? No, it was not. No, it wasn't a Muslim operation. It was a Jewish operation. 100%. That's not to say that I agree with Islam or that I think that they're the good guys, because I don't. What I am telling you, though, is that their fingerprints were all over it. Had nothing to do with Islam. There were a couple of, I think it was like a couple of different princes from Saudi Arabia and whatever. Those people were involved. But those are also Israel's buddies, the UAE, and, those are not good guys. So when you sit back and you look at this, bull crap that's happening, let's not lose sight of who is who and what is what. Islam has their place in my shit list too. Believe me. I know a lot of good Muslims. I know a few good Jewish people. I know a lot of good Buddhists. I know a lot of good Christians. But then I know a lot of shithill Christians too. And what they do is they pick and choose and they cherry pick, and they have attacked me vehemently with fundamentalist bullshit. I've actually been attacked and harassed more by my own kind than I have any of these other religions. And people will say, well, they've never really bothered me. Well, if you've ever had a problem with pornography, right? They've bothered you. Or drugs, they've bothered you. Look at what Scheinbaum is doing down in Mexico. Another Jewish person who's the president of Mexico. Now the cartels are just running wild down there. The part of the reason, this is true, nobody's even talking about this. Silver, the price of silver is jacked through the roof, partially because of the mines down in Mexico. We get 30% of our silver from the mines in Mexico. That's almost a third of the world's silver production. And Scheinbaum is allowing these cartel members to destroy an international airport, light cars on fire, kill hundreds of people, and then suppress it and try to cover it up, and then kill the journalists and murder people wholesale, and then go, well, you know, we don't want to violate their civil rights. The cartels are bad dudes, man. They're bad dudes. They're now blocking silver production. You can't get silver out of some of these places. Well, hell yeah, there's going to be an issue. But I'm pretty sure that the Londonite Rothschilds will still be able to fill their coffers. Just you and I won't. Because they have Scheinbaum in there, who's friends and buddies with the cartels. That's my thing. So if you'll excuse me, I got to go. And we will continue. We'll carry on this conversation soon. But I got to run.